Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
The fire will burn you. Nighttime politics with Mansa Musa. The program is now 7:49 here in the UK, 6:49 in Ghana. You all welcome to the show. Right, so tonight it is the Tuesday edition Our fire will burn you. That means I have here with me in the studio Dr. Joe Swajima. Is here to deliberate, discuss, converse, and try to analyze what is going on in Ghana. And that's not excluding his own political campaign or election campaign to his compatriots. That is the NDC fraternity here in UK Ireland, for them to consider his quest to become the chairman of the group here in the UK. So, very short time for me to do my rant and my monologue. Tonight is all very simple indeed. The question I'm asking is, why is the IGP being persecuted? Yes, the word is persecuted. Persecution, that means he's been, how do I say it? Not just judged, but he's been he's been pronounced guilty and being punished. You understand? That means he's being punished the illegal way, the unconstitutional way. The law is that when someone does something wrong, okay.
Verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo, del mundo, del
Okay,
mundo,
one.
del mundo, del mundo, del mundo.
Ojaye! Ojaye!
Right, excuse me for that. I needed to sort something out. So the law is that law states that when someone does something wrong, something illegal, he should be prosecuted. That means he should be charged, arraigned before courts, and the judges, lawyers, they will slang it out, and they will decide if someone is free to go home or is guilty and should be jailed or punished anyhow. So our IGP, I can say that he is under persecution as we speak, because for what it's worth, I was speaking to a retired general in the Ghana Army, and he said, look, in the Army, what those police people did, they leaked tape, if it was true, if they had admitted that they did that, they said that they sat to explore ways and means to undermine the IGP for political reasons. That is treason. And that in the Army is a court-martial. In the old days, you can be shot. In the new days, the least is that you'll be demoted, or you can be, discharged. I mean, when they say discharged, means you've been sacked. So why is, the IGP brought to face, as if, to face the people, to face the masses, to ask him questions, as though he has done something wrong. Because the thing is, you see, the guys, the police people, the police officers, those who went, clandestine, apparently they said they didn't know they were being what do we call it, recorded, and that even makes it worse. They know, or they thought they were not being recorded, so they sat down to plant or to plan a certain ploy to get the IGP removed for political reasons. You see, and they have admitted saying all this, or that the tape is right, even though they say here and there is doctored, but the main sort of substance in that audio tape, they have not disputed it. So the point is, why are these people being treated as though they are they were or they are whistleblowers? These people cannot be adjudged or described as whistleblowers, because whistleblowers, as a whistleblower, there are channels and avenues. There are superiors. Even there are some top political people that you can actually say, hey, the IGP is doing this and that and that and that and that. And that, okay, fair enough. But to say that he is strict and that he will genuinely try to conduct his exercises with what we call reverence, or with neutrality or firmness and fairness, and so that cannot provide or give any advantage to the ruling party, that is treasonous. And that should be a court-martial offense. And that, as they say, interdict. This word, sometimes should have been interdicted long time ago. There should be civilians now sitting somewhere waiting for the next command to come to face some judgment seriously. But you see, in all this, let everybody understand, the rest of the world, the ECOWAS of our time, the Tinibus, the Wataras, the rest of them, who say, oh, we have to safeguard, whatever it is. Democracy is sacrosanct, it should be protected. And that, if the democracy is not good, you have to do more democracy. So sometimes I used to ask this question when people say, oh, a bad democracy is worse than whatever it is. So what exactly is the bad democracy? Because the bad democracy is making sure all the state organs will adhere to, your motives or your interests. That means one particular interest to the one-sided. In all the activities, the judges, the judiciary, the police, the security agencies, all of them should be one-sided, should support the biggest paymaster or the ruling party. So if you describe this as a bad democracy, how do we get past that to make the democracy work? Do we just say, okay, let's carry on, let's vote, even if they do all this and they still win the power, no problem, it is democracy? Or it is good for interruptions every now and again. We will continue tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll get some guys, some top security people in Ghana. I can assure you some topmost security couple has given me another topmost security personnel that can speak to me in public. So hopefully tomorrow night we will discuss this more. Now though, it's time for the party political broadcast by Dr. Joe Oswajima, which is known as the campaign hour. Sorry about that. So I need to multitask. So that's why sometimes you see I pause. Those of you watching video or Facebook, see that I wake up to do certain things. I'm on my own. So please bear with. For now though, let's go for the sick tune and we'll be back with the campaign hour.
As chairman for UK and Ireland chapter, oh you need papa, or Jenny on my new doctor. Doctor Joanne, Gloria Betuaman. I will vote for Doctor. The Brandon Stone. I want to Takra, the man who you fair. A Takra born in Sudia and Po. Yatua baby, I'm a Dr. Joe Ajimai, a no one I born in Takra, the man we are fair. Takra born in Sudia and Po. Yatua baby, I'm a who knows what a better Dr. Joe Ajimai, or no one I am. queen of diaspora. Aya kraba shati montumano e. Dr. Joanne Loye Betuaman. Odi kambo muba. Amme mebulu. Na kambo no desi sai papa bo. Odi kambo muba ma menina. Ye ready. Kokotu abanu mano. Now I'm speaking on behalf of Dr. Joe Ajimai. When in my papa, Dr. I could see a person or the boy. Never party no munifa any share. Oh yeah, on my papa or Jenny, on my own Abanomano. Dr. Joe Ajimai say, or when make sure say, party in the Benyan own office. Now meetings are who doing now. After Dr. I raise the fund. Sikabotuo pa imu oduro. Se odebe boa. Executive members, any departmentals ni nyina. And some are Dr. Ekruchire se odebe boa no edoso. Ni nyina so mu hwam na ede. So I will vote for him. Go and vote for him. Dr. Joe Ajimai. Ono ana ye pe. We gonna vote for Dr. December, yeah, back to our papa. We gonna vote for Dr. 3rd December, yeah, back to our papa, sir. I am Dr. Joe Ajimai Negro, yeah, back to our man, oh. Dr. Joe Negro, yeah, back to our man. We gonna vote for Dr. Joe Negro, yeah, back to our man. Man of vision, Nepal.
Right, so that is signature tune for Dr. Joe Owusu Ajimai. Doctor, yes, the last time we met was Thursday.
Yeah.
And today is Tuesday. So roughly how many? 5 days?
Mm-hmm.
You. And I hope everything on the family personal level is okay.
Oh yeah, everything is fine, Mansa Musa, by God's grace.
Brilliant. And what about the group activities? The other time I was, what do we call it? I was grateful, privileged, should I put it that way, to be invited to see one of your sub-meetings.
Yeah.
And I met so many people. Some of them I've just heard the name. I have not seen in person. I met all of them, which is brilliant. And so, yeah, tell us what is going on, in a small way, what is going on within your fraternity.
Mansa Musa, thanks once again for having me here. And this studio is becoming my house, if not house, a home, because every Tuesday and Thursday you see me here. Before I go on to say anything, let me say good evening to my wonderful and cherished listeners that they've made it time every Tuesday and Thursday to come here to listen to what's happening in Ghana, how bad this Akufo-Addo government is, and how our father, former President John Mahama, is coming to change things. We will continue to propagate to Ghanaians what's happening, and will never stop to the day that we've seen that President Mahama and NDC are elected with the biggest majority that we are, so that he can forge ahead every good thing that is going in his head.
NFM Radio.
And I know he can do it. Having said this, I'll go straight to acknowledge my campaign team, led by Mr. Lons Agini, who will be coming after this session to be coming online to update us what's happening. So Lons, I salute you tonight and for your wonderful work. I don't know what I can say, but I know a lot of people, the feedback is good. His deputy, Miss Rita Mensa as well, I salute you tonight for your hard work. Dr. Tebi, you too, the campaign advisor, Dr. Tebi, you too, you're doing a wonderful job. Mr. Kofi Adeni Bogawan, you're doing a wonderful job. I don't know how I can't say anything more because people have seen what you're doing for our great party and our campaign team. Then, having finished here, what about Mami Sewa? Mami Sewa everywhere. Mansa Musa, you saw Mami Sewa the other day, and he's doing the work. He's doing the work, and everyone deserves, who is doing everything good, deserve to be praised accordingly. And then that's exactly what I'm saying tonight. Hajia Akumapa, one of the best communicators I've ever met. Sis, good evening. And then I heard that you're working so hard because of the limited registration process that is going on in Ghana. Well done. Mr. Captain M. Abolu. You two, you're doing a wonderful job. Radio, TV, everywhere. I don't know how to thank you for this wonderful party. Keep on, bro. Then Mr. Obin Frimpong, I saw some pictures. You were working very hard, and then well done. Keep the good work up. And finally, but very important person, Ato Kwamena. You two, you're doing a wonderful job. Please, let's work together because we are all in it together. We are all facing this Patapaa government, Nana Akufo-Addo's Patapaa government together. Having done this introduction and acknowledgement, Mansa Musa, I will push things back to my campaign manager to take it from there, and then I'll come and then go on to talk about the current affairs for tonight. So if it's the campaign manager is on, then I'll leave everything to him and I'll come back. Thank you.
Obviously, he's not here yet, so if you carry on a bit. The other time, no, not the other time, just yesterday. Yesterday, I had the privilege of speaking to Mr. Ofosu Kwache.
Kwache Ofosu.
You see, I like it that way.
Yeah.
But I know he pronounced it different. It's Kwache Ofosu, but I like Ofosu Kwache. But anyway, he was on Zoom with me for about 45 minutes, and his line went dead. He said he was having problem with the signal. So today he was on Good Morning Ghana, and what I want to say is when you are doing the salutations, I think you have to extend it to such people if you can remember. I mean, because the work they are doing, the level-headedness like that young man has to be able to sit on national telly to explain things. Goodness me. It takes that bravery and intelligence. So I'm just saying that whenever you are doing that salutations, try to mention them as well, those kind of people. Anyway, Mr. What's his name? Lonsi is here. Let's connect him and see what.
Your advice is well taken, Mansa Musa, because they are doing a wonderful job for our party, but behind the scene, I send messages and we communicate, and then encourage them.
Lonsi.
Mansa Musa.
Akwabo. Where's all?
Mansa Musa.
Eleke.
Mansa Musa mo fon o chan fon.
Davi fon. The view.
Game ba bi wa kese
and the speaker when you say ga.
Ni o respond by G say o ba.
I will ban you. I want NFM.
Right. So Akwababium, but seriously, on the serious note, tell us something we don't know. Last Saturday, I went to North London somewhere to see your people do things. I felt the love. You can see that despite everything, people can still laugh, shake hands, even eat food without thinking anyone is poisoning them. that one is up. I would advise them to be very careful with each other. But whom am I? Anyway, tell me something.
Mansa Musa, once again, let me say a very good evening to yourself, your team, your producers, your managers, or
NFM Radio.
whosoever has made it possible for my candidate to have that leisure of coming into the studios to propagate and expatiate on his vision for the chapter. The second one goes to our cherished listeners, people who are taking time off of their busy schedule to listen to what Doctor has got for them. And lastly, to himself. I have always said that personally, if you should ask me, or I have always posited that I am not a religious person, but I believe that for some reasons, nature has presented him to us or gifted him to us to change the fortunes of what we have here as a chapter. This chapter is being rebirthed, and I am privileged with all the alacrity to be associated with him to, take charge of what we have to do to better the fortunes of the chapter. Mansa Musa, yes, as a campaign manager, it behoves me, to report to you what it is that people want to hear. But then I am sorry, or I am happy, whichever way you look at it, to report or to say that nothing really has happened yet. What I know, or what we know as a team, is that 7th October remains the date that we are still going for this election, which obviously is going to define the fortunes of this chapter. Mansa Musa, to cut long story short, I believe that this chapter needs someone who has got the integrity, someone whose decency is unblemished, someone who appears and behaves as a unifier, someone who abhors, all manner of evil, be it being perpetrated by our own people or from our opponents. And I believe that that person is Dr. Joe Oswajman. This is a man who has paid his dues. When I say pay his dues, he has served this chapter to that point where you can't find any faults from him. Obviously, I appreciate the fact that in every society, just as one will say that man isn't an island, you have people trying to, paint him whichever way that they so deem.
NFM
Master,
Radio.
if for that reason, why would someone suggest that because he's so straight, which politically I would say firm, why would someone say, no, that man is too straight? Then it means there are ulterior motives. There are things that you want to do that his persona or his leadership will not allow you to prevail on some of the things that you want to do if it's not going to inure to the benefit of the party. This is a man whose interest goes beyond the roof. His only interest is the NDC. So, Mansa, there isn't much to report. All that I'm trying to preach out to general membership is that let's look beyond ourselves. If indeed we want to block the 8 in Ghana, others are saying that they are going to break the 8. What we have also suggested is that we would have to block the 8. They don't have to go beyond the 8 by any measure. Me, I'm a settler. I have come from a settler community. So wherever you find the sea and rivers and waterfalls and so whatsoever, you find our people. And we love fishing. Mansa Musa, when we are talking about the net, the trolley, no one-man person or no one person pulls it. We believe in collectivism. Everyone has to put his shoulder or her shoulder to that net to be able to pull it and get the maximum of whatever that we have thrown it out for. Dr. Joe Ajman is a team player. That is the illustration that I've sought to make. he's a team player. Mansa Musa, you cannot be a team player without being a unifier. But the most important thing is that man in the studios or that man in the studio is a firm person who will tell you as it is. He doesn't shy away from taking up his responsibility and owning up when things go wrong. So before I leave you to it, I definitely will come back, but I'm urging general membership. Let's do this business. Let's vote out for somebody who has got the appetite, the desire, the energy, the appeal, the connections to Accra to help us break this whole idea of people wanting to take this chapter to ransom. Mansa, who am I? Or whom am I? As I speak to you, technically, someone has just used his discretion to say that I am not a member of my branch, therefore I am a non-entity of this chapter. But I leave that to posterity. What I'm trying to say is that let's vote for someone who shall uphold the necessary administrative principles to making sure that some of these challenges will not occur or, rear its head in future. That is why he has proposed certain programs and policies which, in effect, shall make sure that as a group we move forward together and achieve our goals and aims irrespective of the dissent. He's a man who will not at any point in time say that, Lons, because I don't like your big head, I'm not going to give you the opportunity to explore or contribute your quota to the development of this chapter. He's a man of integrity. I believe that this is the right time that we need Dr. Joe Ajman. He has been a deputy organizer. He rose through up to a vice chairman, and I believe that this is his time. He has demonstrated that his love for the party means so much to him than any other thing. Mansa Musa, we need the resources. We need the human capacity. We need his intellect. We need his strategies. We need his appeals. Who else in this chapter can match up to what he has offered himself to do? Mansa Musa, we are saying that we are going to make this chapter very viable. We are going to make communication a tool for mobilization. We are going to make sure that the youth and women's wing are given the necessary resources to operate in order to mobilize and galvanize the chapter. Therefore, making sure that whatever happens here reflects positively back home in Ghana. I've thrown a challenge to our competitors. People should come up and own up to what they are able to do. It is so easy for anyone to contest an election and say, I am going to make sure that, or I'm going to empower. How do you empower your subsets? Do you do that by going to River Thames and, dipping a cup into it and, getting it out and say, I'm going to use this to empower? No. It has to take a man, I can for you say, so sometimes I'll leave you to it. I'll come back. I'll allow you to, run your show. But we are definitely going to campaign and tell general membership why we believe that our programs are well appraised. We've come out with the solutions. We've identified the problems that we have within the chapter and how we are going to solve it. Else, Mansa Musa, someone like me, Dr. Tabi, my deputy, Miss Rita Mensa, my coordinator, Mami Sewa, Bogawan, my comrades from Accra, and all these gentlemen and ladies will not associate ourselves with this. We want to change the face of how things are done in this chapter. And we believe that if we are able to do that, it shall positively reflect and contribute to our forward marching with Accra. Mansa Musa, that's it.
Ayu, thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. That was Mr. Lonsajene. He speaks for Dr. Joe Ajiman's campaign, or he's the campaign manager, the team manager. Anyway, So, Dr. George, let's come to you here in the studio. This, you see, now you hear of audios or video something, and straight away somebody will come out, it's doctored. It's not him. Yeah. I heard this audio going around purportedly to be that of the voice, allegedly to be that of Mr. Honorable Oseche Mansa Musa, who Kevin Taylor calls something a day. Lawrence Adai.
Yeah, that's his original name.
Are you?
Yeah.
Apparently, this is his voice. I've got the voice, and he's bemoaning his own party's, what do you call it, internal strife, what they are going on, which isn't good. And the way he speaks, it was rather damning, especially of the head of state, the president. And you put it somewhere, the NDC group, they are happy. The MPP group, it's not, it wasn't him. As Shaggy would say, it wasn't him. Have you heard that? And
Yeah, Mansa Musa, what's happening in Ghana at the moment is, this guy would say it's not him. If it was anything good to go by, this guy would say, yes, I am Chairman Sabunsu. But anything bad is Lawrence Ade. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Where I'm coming from? Yeah. So he said it was recorded, and now he's trying to run away from his own words. We know this man for a long, long time. We know how he speaks, how, when he speaks in between, he rests in between everything. I've listened to the word, and this man cannot stand anywhere and say it's not me. But it's internal thing, who cares when they are fighting each other? I'm talking about the MPP members, and then they break the age before. They break themselves before going for the age that they want to break. You understand? So I would say they are Ghanaians as well. They are brothers and sisters. So when they are beating each other, they shouldn't beat them in such a way that they should live to survive. You understand? And I would say I wish them well, and they should keep on talking and then talking about each other the way that we had it on the tape. Because for me, it's him.
I want us to explore that. It's very important for all politicians, especially the opposition. If it's true that was his voice, he said that the substance of what he says or he said, given that now he's saying they have given too much rope to Akufo-Addo, too much chance, too much time, and he was never checked because initially he was very popular with everybody. If that is the truth, the what do we call it? The strategists within the opposition, they must by now be sitting around their tables and be thinking, right? If even within the NPP, if this is what they have realized, the attack mode or how to gain advantage from this. I don't say you should tell us how you guys are doing, but you see, do you take any value in what we have heard?
Mansa Musa, let me tell you something. Who doesn't know that Akufo-Addo has messed up? Who doesn't know that Akufo-Addo is a tyrant? Who doesn't know that Akufo-Addo will say something and do something different? Akufo-Addo can attend churches. Let me use my president, Akufo-Addo, so that anyone from the other side of the aisle will know that I respect him as president, but I don't like the things that he's doing, so I don't want anyone to think that I'm disrespecting him. So President Akufo-Addo, let me use that word, and I would say, Mansa Musa, as we speak now, where is the Chief Justice? You're talking about Akufo-Addo, right? President Akufo-Addo. Where's the Chief Justice? Whenever Chief Justice is going away, does it mean that he's taking the courts away? He's taking all the judges away. I tell you something. They think we've given Ghana to them as a work and pay. It's like when you buy a taxi and give it to somebody, you work and pay, and then they can park the car wherever they want to park the car, and then do whatever they want because it's a work and pay. After all, it will become
NFM
theirs
Radio.
once they're able to pay the money. When we started talking about this, I'm talking about NDC as a party, people were thinking that we're talking too much. Things that we have seen long time. Chief Mansa Musa, Honorable, is trying to tell us that he didn't know. You know what they are trying to do, Mansa Musa? They are trying to associate themselves from Akufo-Addo government because they know that the things have gone wrong. And in order to do that, this guy was saying from the bottom of his heart, try to tell a colleague that, look, this is the reality. This is the canker. This is the adjumbonning, and then you name it, that's going on. I can tell you, but on air, I cannot say anything. Sure. That's exactly what happened. I tell you something. Let me give you this statistics, Mansa Musa. Supreme Court, as we say now, they've got about 14 judges, yeah? Out of the 14 judges, Nana Akufo-Addo has appointed 11 judges. Mansa Musa, even if somebody is saying that we don't agree with what the Chief Justice is doing, we want to take them, they will appoint judges to the same Supreme Court judges to come and hear the case. And then, Mansa Musa, out of 14, if you're having 11, it doesn't matter the number, you'll be very super lucky to get, let's say 5 judges for the Ghanaians as a whole, to get number that is going to be favorable, because whether you like it or not, when it comes to that they are not able to decipher what's happening, then or differentiate the
NFM
arguments
Radio.
that then they have to vote. They put everything to vote. So if you're having 11 out of 14, Mansa Musa, do you think the person going there is going to get any justice? Of course not. Out of the that's for Supreme Court, 11 out of 14. Then Appeals Court, 31 out of 41, Mansa Musa. So that's why anytime this Attorney General, whenever he's having a case and it's getting tough, you run to the Appeals Court, you run to the Supreme Court because you know they've got a majority there. Then let's come to the High Court. 126, Mansa Musa. 126 High Court judges. And I can tell you about 80% appointed by Nana Akufo-Addo. So how are you going to get justice? And in relation to America, do you know that they manage the current conservative judges in the American Supreme Court? They managed to overturn 100-year abortion thing.
Yes.
You know why?
Yes.
Because they put it themselves to part. So now they've got a majority of the conservative and they believe that abortion is not good for them.
Yes.
I'm not sitting here to say that, but somebody must have choice. You talk about somebody wants to become an animal, somebody wants to paint herself or himself to become whatever.
I know someone who has married a tree.
Okay, yes. And he says human rights. So if somebody is saying that this is unwanted pregnancy, I don't want it. Yeah? So what happens to human rights? That one, you haven't got human rights. Yeah? Even prisoners, they've got human rights because they are asking them to vote. Their human rights, okay? But accidentally, not fault of someone, is carrying a baby, I'm a student, I'm this, I'm like that, or I've just had a baby, 6 months time, I'm pregnant again. I don't want this baby or something. I'm not here advocating for abortion. But what I'm trying to say is, if they want to expand their human rights, it should go everywhere.
Yes.
But the things that they use their human rights for, it's not up for me to say on this radio, because that's it's beyond my scope. So they managed to overturn 100-year-old abortion law. So that's exactly what Nana Akufo-Addo is doing in Ghana. That's why we say that nation capture. They've done that. They've done that. Look at what's happening in the Electoral Commission, Mansa Musa. Look at what's happened. They want people to do the limited registration at the 268 district offices without thinking about the economic the downturn of the economy in Ghana. They're not thinking about that. The haircut, the Sakura, everything that they've done, they're not thinking about that. They want people to use Ghana card, passport, or guarantee system where 2 people who are registered voters will vouch for you. 2 people. So let's say you're coming from somewhere, Kasapin, all the way to Goso. Yeah? And you got 2 registered voters, you want to bring them over. And then definitely everyone who's calculating this with me will know that if it's going to be only district capital, now Goso is regional capital. But what I'm saying is, if it's going to be district capital, we know that the queue is going to be long, isn't it? So the likelihood that the person is not going to be registered the same day is very high. The probability is very, very high. So the person may decide to stay overnight. So you are staying there, not only you, with the 2 other people. You have to pay their fares. You have to feed them. And then if you're not able to register the same day, what do you have to do? You have to find accommodation for these 2 people. So 3 people, you're doing that. It means people are paying money before they can vote. People are paying, and our constitution is clear. Nobody should be prevented from voting because of money. Nobody.
Sure.
We said this woman is saying, no, I'm not listening to you. The opposition parties filed injunction. The court and put date, and then the court has put 17. The process has started. So 17, what's going to do, Mansa Musa? What is going to do? But I'm shocked about this Ghana EC. You know why I'm shocked? During the NDC presidential primaries, when Dr. Kwame Nkrumah injuncted the party, as soon as, even they were not having a letter from the court, as soon as they heard that in the news that the party has been injuncted, they said, hey, we can't supervise the election. No, we can't. We can't. But what's happened now? Now that we beat the court, and then you can see the fire, the Greater Accra Regional Police Command and the minority in the civil society organizations are all fighting to get the route. Apart from that, they put injunction, and then I'm not sitting here to be prejudicial, but somebody who's thinking ahead of time will say that, is it coincident for the Chief Justice to travel, saying that first she issued a letter to say that she's the only person that can choose a judge to go to oversee some cases. I don't know whether you heard that. It's a letter. And then after, she's gone. So justice shouldn't go on because Chief Justice is not there. Is that fair, Mansa Musa? Is that the case that when Nana went to watch African Cup of Nations, and then he said, oh, I didn't write a check to pay the teachers and other government workers because, and then President John Mahama came and said, hey, hang on a minute, it's not true. You could have signed a post-dated check. They'll be paid. So tell me, there's no money. 2 weeks after, they said they were going to IMF. You understand? So there are certain things when people are doing, we've got people who can think ahead of our time. They can see what we can't see, Mansa Musa. So what we are saying now here is they are doing the same thing. And in politics, this is what we call political data gerrymandering. Because they're doing that to chuck some people away. They won't get a chance to vote, and they think they can break the 8, but they cannot. They only break themselves, like what Chairman Sambos and other people are doing now. So we will not sit down, Mansa Musa. I had our woman organizer, Dr. Hannah Bisi, was saying that if the Electoral Commissioner, J. Mensa, wants to put it in her bedroom, the NDC people will manage to register and to kick them out from this government. And I support her 100%. I support her. So things are not right, Mansa Musa. Things are not going the way things should go. They want to take political advantage over other political parties. And that is not right. That is not right, Mansa Musa. The same thing happened 2019, and people started talking, and out of, it decided to open more. Why now? That it's not doing that. It's not doing that because they know what they're after. They want to disfranchise some people so that the current government, the incumbent, will have the political advantage. But it's not going to happen, Mansa Musa. I've heard that there's one man, Ayita Precious, has taken the Electoral Commission to court to injunct what's happening. So let's see. But I don't know whether the Chief Justice will come back before that case will be heard. Mansa Musa, I don't know about that. But we can only put our fingers crossed and just tell Ghanaians how bad this government is, how autocratic our president and some of the ministers. And when I'm talking about, somebody will sit there and said, oh, this guy is saying something that he hasn't heard before. We heard it before, Mansa Musa. How can a minister who is close or a relative of the president come out, just say one day, say, we don't want tolls. We're not collecting money anymore because of e-levy. Something that has gone to Parliament, Ghana Parliament, for approval, and then it's a law that we are using. How can someone just wake up one day and say, we don't want this? And up to now, nobody has done anything to this man. Nobody. Now, Mansa Musa, I can tell you that the amount of money every year at that time was 72 million Ghana cedis after paying all the people, use it. That is the take home. I would say in business, you say pure profit. So are they telling me that even for 3 years, 72, 3 years, they could have used that money to put into Get Fund, that they can't even send money for teachers to buy, head teachers and everything to buy chalk, men, just repair their tables, broken tables and other things. It's not well, Mansa Musa. All is not well. That's why some of us be taking it upon ourselves to open the Pandora's box for people to know that this government is the worst government I've ever had. I even pushing for this government to get, go to the Guinness Book of Record, that is the worst government ever. And then if the Chief Justice can accept what my proposal, then I would say, just put it there, and after this government is gone, wipe Nana Akufo-Addo's record from our system, because it's Mansa Musa, the more you read something about this man, you just get panic attack, Mansa Musa, with no reason. And that's exactly what's happening in Ghana now. These are the people, they don't care. They think they're the most clever people in the world, but everything is bassa. And then they are squandering our money, left, right, center, middle, everywhere. They don't even talk about Ghana cedis anymore. They talk about dollars, Mansa Musa. Foreign currencies. That's what this government talks about. This is the government that the first time in history, Bank of Ghana has been bankrupt. And when I ask them, they tell you, technically, we cannot be bankrupt. What about in practice? Can they tell me that if a bank sitting somewhere in Ghana saying that I need 6 billion, they can't provide it, Mansa Musa. All what they have to do is they have to print more money. And what's going to happen? Big inflation everywhere. Big inflation everywhere, Mansa Musa. So I don't know what's wrong with this government, because it's a family and friends government. Anytime Nana wants to do reshuffle, they will just call Nana to Chebi, just come for a funeral, because it's very important. Funeral, you have to be there, you are the president, you go there, hey, don't do that because it's your family member. It's going to disgrace him, Mansa Musa. That's why we are where we are. I've never seen this in my life, Mansa Musa. I've never seen this. A government that spent 23 billion Ghana cedis to collapse banks that needed 9 billion Ghana cedis. Mansa Musa, where in this world that somebody will say, I'm thinking about my people? Where, Mansa Musa? I would like one country, starting from Africa all the way to the world, that somebody will say, this bank, the banks that I'm collapsing them, they need 9 billion Ghana cedis to survive. But I'm going to close them down using 23 billion Ghana cedis. Where, Mansa Musa? In the mathematics, where? It's too bad, Mansa Musa. It is too bad the way they are running our country at the moment. All what Ghanaians need at the moment is to bring President Mahama, not just bringing President Mahama and NDC to power, but with the biggest majority. Think about, everyone listening to me tonight, think about the E-block. Then now, we got the rats and snakes, and they are playing football inside. Think about the hospitals.
NFM Radio.
One, when you are passing by Mansa Musa, you can see the forest. The money that was used, I can tell you that any government that will tackle it will use, if not twice, 3 times the cost. Because, what about Seglame? Housing. Police, the army, some of them, they haven't got place to sleep, Mansa Musa. If this government is very, very, it's got visionary government, people in the government, what they should have done is at least make it ready for the what they call the people in the army and the police, the personnel.
The forces.
The forces.
Yeah.
People in the personnel in the forces. At least problem number 1 could have been solved.
Yeah.
But it's sitting there, becoming dilapidated. And now you're looking for a friend to sell this thing to the friend as a private company. You just marking the wall. It will come to pass, what I'm saying today. Somebody will come, they want to give it to a private company. And the private company will be their own private company. But I know a day will come, a day of reckoning will come, and where this government, Ghanaians will use their locomotive power to show them that, look, we don't need you. And they came to power. They said they came to power with 1 million votes, isn't it? Yeah, they will go more than 1 million votes. Mansa Musa, tonight, I encourage every Ghanaian to make sure that they should go and register. I've spoken to my the constituency that I've adopted. About 6 of them. I've spoken to the people involved, and what they've said is today it wasn't that bad. They're keeping an eye and everything, so they are pushing around, and like I said, some of the places, Mansa Musa, it's not easy because of the rainy season. We've got artificial river. When it rains in Ghana, artificial river because of our roads, and we've got the natural river. Some of the natural rivers, they haven't got good bridges for people to cross. So some of them have to use boats, and not just free. People charge you, and even sometimes they tell you, people using the boats, they will tell you that, you cannot go today. All these people are waiting to come and register. And this J. Mensa is saying that whatever I have said is final. We leave this to prosperity of Ghana when President John Mahama comes to power. We leave it to Ghanaians to judge what's going on. And then people in the UK and Ireland, I'm talking about my own party, I'm saying that we start this second independence where President Mahama and NDC come to power to change things in Ghana from here, our chapter. So whenever they are voting, they have to vote wisely and make sure the person that they are voting is not going to be armchair leader in every department. Somebody who work very hard to support our leaders in Ghana to make sure come 2024, our father, our former president, President Mahama, is elected. Our party, NDC, comes back to government with the biggest majority. That's what I can say for now. Thank you.
National Democratic Congress NDC when no nyam former ne mema mo UK ni Ireland chapter no ya yetienie when as say beto aba eji chapter chairman fofo na hwede chine no mum koto on swear enyonya for Dr. Joe Ajimai, the restoration man. The father say e party no enim kai odi amonyesema kotile yie ne wetu ni hwesi wo former so nkoso oni mu adwumade de e fa ne hotituru na esini nan so nwade bebre no de egu akwemu a obeye de amaye bi ni se o sigina ye esiko no dwumade bia be kire party office na odisika £3 empemenum na ato ase eye £5,000 o sanju maguo ni mama honsu £1,000 na ebe show mu dwumade mu kina na esigina ye dodon so a be kire afoforo omo betro mu din abeka party ne ho de omo mbrakura o omo se beka omo card ententem so na atwe adom abeka ye ho eye bosu memiense bia nso party mu mpanimfu a odi dwumade be show mu nse bia no obetu safro omo atena se na de ye de show mu nse do omo ebu ho aponta mako we di bebre na no be ya maye yo onua se kwatre kwose bo ma wontuma bisani di ye Dr. Joe Ajimai, the restoration man, chapter chairman ana yentumano.
Right, so you are listening to Mansa Musa. The program's Fire Will Burn coming to you live from NFM Radio. Tonight I've got Dr. Joe Ajimai as usual, Tuesdays and Thursdays. After the general sort of discussions, current affairs, we in the segment, the next is about our health and well-being matters. And so as the leaked tape probe is going on, I will say straight and flatly that Dr. What's his name? The IGP, the Special General of Police of Ghana, is being persecuted. He said, and IGP Dampare nearly wept. We will deal with that. But yeah, so now is the time for us to go for the health?
Yes, but before that, somebody was asking, I don't know what the person said, the national party anthem.
Oh, you want the party NDC anthem?
Yes, please. Yeah, when I say party,
okay.
It's only one party that I know.
You people like
the other party that they use dollars for pillowcase. I don't know.
I know you guys love party in the park and the barbecue. So maybe I was thinking is a barbecue party you are talking about.
Oh, I see.
That one too, you have a music for it apparently. So we will find it. Okay, so where are we? Okay. If I should have got it.
You want people, that song gives you the energy, encouragement, and everything. When they listen to the words in it, it's awesome.
There's some vim in that one, in it.
It's awesome.
I see. Okay, so in a few seconds, the machine will load up and the music will play. That one I can promise.
Yeah, Suzuza. Arise for Ghana, operation of the land, forward and seek your future, development our God, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, able Democrat, Ghana, our sweating unity from billion to billion. The end is surely stable democrat. Ghana, our sweating unity. Eja, bana Victory is our land. Victory is our land. JJ is a winner. Arise, for Ghana, of the truck of the land. Forward and secure future. People love our goal. From billion to billion, the NDC shall lead. Stable democrat.
NFM Radio.
Unity from billion to billion, the NDC shall lead. Stable democrat. Ghana, our sweating unity from billion to billion, the NDC shall lead. Stable democrat.
Right, so I guess everyone is happy indeed, including everybody, including those who are dancing. Today, someone, a very good friend of mine, a lady friend who is MPP fraternity, and she told me, Mansa Musa, I told them, those who've gone to Accra to go and vote, they should vote wisely. He said, there is somebody, if they vote to bring him, he will cross carpet. So I said, well, are you saying this to make me happy or what? He said, no, but Mansa Musa, if that fellow should win, that means it is very clear that I will not be on the winning side come 2024. That's what the woman said. I will not be on the winning side. So I better jump. Yeah, she's a proper NPP, one of their top women. He said, I want to be on the winning side. So if they bring somebody, that person, he mentioned the name, if they bring him as our flag bearer, I will jump ship. I say you are here. Anyway, King Edward, you two, we are waiting. Apparently, if they don't bring King Japan, you two say you jump ship. I will never forget to King Edward. 80 no. Right. Doctor, what are we going to say?
Yeah.
Tetanus?
No, chicken pox.
Oh, chicken pox.
Yeah, and back about five to 10 years ago, UK was saying that chicken pox was something that but it's coming out. We don't know why, because of the, Andrew, one Dr. Andrews that it was struck off. He said something about adding vaccines and, so that has changed everything. So a lot of people are not going for vaccines, but I would say vaccines save life, and we have to be positive about it. Chicken pox, when you mention the name, somebody will say, what has it got to do with chicken? Yeah. So the history behind chicken pox, the name chicken pox was named after, the chickpea.
Yes.
The chickpea.
Yes.
So because when you see the rash, that's how, so that's it. So it's got nothing to do with chicken, because that's how it is. And it's caused by varicella zoster virus. And when it happens, somebody will be itchy. The rash is very, very itchy.
Yes.
small fluid-filled blister. You know when you see it will burst, and then the water in there, because you got virus, when it touches the skin, it will start again. And then some people, it can spread all the way, even the eye, and sometimes private parts as well. So if you're not lucky and you get that, ears, eye, it can be very, so it's something that when it comes, we need to sympathize with whoever is suffering from that.
It makes very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is. And then it spreads very, very quick. So when you see someone and then you have never had chickenpox, then you need to be careful when you're going back. Everyone's got immunity. Once you have it, the virus will be dormant in your system. And unless you are under immunosuppressant medicine that can suppress your immunity, or you are using chemotherapy that can also suppress your immunity, or somebody is seriously ill, then the person can catch it again. Yeah, because few other people can catch it due to certain reasons. But normally, when you have it, that's it. And you get immunity, lifetime immunity. And what people can see that if you want to find out whether you've had chickenpox when you were a child or not, cold sore.
Yeah, so it is that if you get, a chicken pox in your infancy, you grow up, the likelihood is that you don't get it again.
Yeah, you get immunity. You can get immunity, but in every rule there's exception. Because some people, they are immunocompromised, or they got chemotherapy where the chemotherapy, somebody on chemo, the immune system is near 10. You understand? Yeah. If you choose 100%, near 10, because it's suppressing the cells, so it's suppressing everything. Yeah, and they might not work the way it should work, and other people as well, that due to some reasons. So because of that, we got vaccines that protect children from it. So when you go through all your vaccines, if God forbid you're not having any serious disease, you should be okay. The only thing that when you are down, or even when your household is having chickenpox and you've had it before, what will happen is you're gonna get like mild, but you're not gonna get any rash or something like that, because the immunity, the body, we having the immunity already, and the people who have had it will have the cold sore, because it's the same virus. Yes. So anytime that you are down, when I'm saying you are down, you are stressed out, or you can't eat or sleep properly, then it will show up. That's why in Ghana, our uncles and our people will say, "Oh, cry, because you know why they give you egg? Because egg is the only food that contains everything: carbohydrate, protein, calcium, everything. You understand? So they'll give you that. Our forefathers didn't know science, but they didn't document it. So egg contains everything that you need. That's why it's able to hatch to become. Because when you look at mammals, the baby in the womb, it has to eat through the mom. You understand? Yeah. But egg, just dump the egg somewhere to hatch, and then the chick in there will eat whatever is there before coming out. Yes. You understand? Because it contains everything that the chick needs to grow. You understand? So egg contains everything. But what I would say is too much of everything is bad. So don't eat too much of egg, because it can give you other things as well. So let's be careful. And then the chickenpox, there's a myth that chickenpox vaccine is not safe. It's not true. It's very, very safe, and it can prevent people or spread of the chickenpox. So we need to take note of this, because it's very, very important. Okay, I'll go straight to the symptoms of chickenpox. The rash caused by chickenpox normally appears 10 to 21 days. So we should take note of this, 10 to 21 days. And when someone is exposed to the virus, 10 to 21 days. So somebody, you can see somebody who's got chickenpox. Let's say you are playing with the person, if you're a child, playing with the oh, I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it. But 10 days after, oh my God, I can't remember where I went because the virus is now taking its effect in your body. So, and then the rash lasts about 5 to 10 days.
Right.
Yeah. So when you see the rash coming, that's where the person can infect you. So we need to take note of that. And other symptoms may appear 1 to 2 days before the rash, include fever, loss of appetite, headache, the person becomes very tired,
Yes.
and the general feeling of not being well. So these are the things that when somebody's going through that. So when you say you got rash and then you go to a chemist or you go to see your GP and ask him all these questions. Some people say, why did my GP ask him all these questions? Because you like to tick the boxes. If it's like this, if it's like that. Apart from because some people, the rash will appear because if I've given you 10 to 21 days, some people it will appear on time. Some people it will delay. So let's say you are one of the people that will appear 20th day.
Yeah.
You're still moving around, having this, you don't know. So that's why all these questions are very important to identify what's happening.
Sure.
It could be anything anyway. But as soon as you see the rash, then you can say, because it's so unique. You know, when you see it with the symptoms that I've just mentioned, you see that, this is chickenpox. And sometimes the rash will appear and then goes away. And we've got 3 rash, phases. First, there's something called like a bump on the skin, and it's called papules. And that papules can break over a few days. So if you go and touch the person and then you get some of the water from that, that means you are not lucky because it can cause problems. And then there's something called vesicles as well. It's also fluid inside that, and that it's about 1 day, and then it breaks and leaks. So that's the blister stage. You see the water. So people using that, you can see that as soon as somebody is suffering from chickenpox, they will rush to chemists and they wanted calamine lotion. But the lotion itself has got alcohol in there. And then as soon as it touches the skin becomes stretched and the alcohol will dry. And then the person will start scratching again. So what we say is, use the calamine aqueous cream when the blister is spreading. Then when it becomes blister, and then the blister is bursting and everything, then you can use it to dry it up so that it doesn't spread further. Does it make sense? So when you're saying, oh, don't use the lotion, use that. But no, I would like the lotion. So that's why. That's the brain behind it. And then you've got crust and then scabs. And this is after the blisters have been broken. You can see that. And some people get scared that stage because they think they're going to be scarred, So they get scared. How's it going? But most people, if you don't scratch it that too much, you're not going to be scarred. You get your normal body
NFM
back.
Radio.
So that's how. And then new bombs will come depending on your immune system. Some people will last longer because the immune system is not that so good. And other people, they recover so quickly. So we need to be mindful. By and large, I would say in healthy children, they recover quickly. As you become younger and younger, if I may say, because I don't want to be in trouble with the aged, the immune system will go down a little bit. And when you suffer from chickenpox, you feel it. You are more uncomfortable than somebody younger.
I see.
Yeah. And some people will say because their nerves, the nerves ending and whatever, are not that grown enough so that they cannot feel. That's why when you want to do castration, you do it in the early stages because when your nerves are working and you do the castration, you will suffer. I'm telling you.
Remind
Yeah. So it's very important to do early stage because the nerves, that's why, even females, when they want to do the ear piercing, they do early age. I know it, so that they don't feel the pain And like I said earlier on, you can get the rashes in your throat, eyes, sometimes urethra inside the manhood, and sometimes our backside as well. Yeah, so when somebody's feeling pain, and then even women in their private parts. So it's something that it will make you uncomfortable. So we need to take note of that.
Chickenpox doesn't give.
No.
It doesn't give the death.
Chickenpox is like buffalo soldier,
Yes.
Yeah, it can fight every fight. So, yeah.
Before you continue, I had I think either 73 or 74. I was in elementary school. And it started slowly, a bit of itchy in the morning. By the time I returned from school, my whole body was itchy. I was scratching and itchy. And somebody said, maybe because I go to the bush to cut grasses we had loads of rabbits. And those days, Champo and Operation Video started, we have rabbits everywhere. So I go fetch this green leaves for them. Maybe one of those leaves that is itchy, go and wash yourself, go and bath, that sort of thing. It was, even when I touched the water, then it was terrible. Then one sensible human being in the house alerted my dad, I know this could be chickenpox. Another elder fellow, because they have, those days, Bema Camp, and a bit of injection here and there, you have it. But morning before I will go to the clinic, so I have to try and secure the living throughout the night. So that man, one sergeant, brought a bottle of apetition. And they smell my whole body of apetition. I mean, I was doused in apetition. The point is, for some reason, not that the itchiness went completely, but it numbed small till the morning. It waked me up again. Luckily, it is 9 o'clock. Went to the clinic. They give me one shot, very hard shot, chloroquine injection. You can feel it entering your veins.
But chloroquine injection itself can cause the body to itch.
Well, it is me. Very good. You have very experienced. Me, mine is if I think apparently later when I grew, they say the blood group A and B.
Oh yeah. Some people, yeah.
It is the tablets. When I take the tablet, the whole body will itch me. Whether
do the injection. No, the injection is fine.
But the injection,
because it goes straight to the blood.
And it's vice versa to somebody else. So they gave me the injection within 5-10 minutes. My whole body, as we say in Fanti, foam. Then they gave me some tablets. I take some. Within 3-4 days, all the soreness, everything is gone. But the first few days, it's not comfortable.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Jesus Christ.
And if you're not
it's
careful,
good when you're a kid, because a kid you can be roaming naked and that's. But imagine an adult.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. You can't.
Jesus Christ. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah. So let's come back to the causes, and like I said, is varicella zoster virus that causes chickenpox, and it can be spread. You can't get the spread through direct contact with the person who has got the chickenpox, or when somebody sneezes or coughs and you breathe in, or the droplets touches your body. So somebody will say, how can cough? Because I've just said, some people, if they are not lucky, they will get some in their throat, isn't it? So let's say you've got a blister, the scalp and then the papules and then vesicles, they break in and then it's like a water and then the person brings out in your face. You see what's going to happen? Yeah. So that is the scientific, the pharmacology point of view. That's what it says. And that it's the droplets that will cause that. So we have to be very careful, and then we shouldn't play God and say that, me, I'm tough. So somebody got chickenpox. Once the person's got chickenpox, the person's got chickenpox. You need to acknowledge that.
It's rubbish. You feel very.
Yeah,
You feel
and then
rubbish.
yeah.
It's wrong. No. You have to sympathize with anyone who has chickenpox. It's horrible.
So risk factors, and that will be the end of this. Risk factors are people have already said that they've had it before, and then they're having again. Yeah, it means the virus. Once you have the first time, you're supposed to get immunity.
Yeah.
So if the second one's coming, it means the immunity has been overridden by. If it's first battalion, then this is the second battalion.
When we show down people.
Yeah, it means they are coming to give you the showdown. Yeah, yeah. So that's literally that's what it is, and there are certain normally children as well, because they play together, they touch each other, and sometimes in the nursery when they put children together, they cuddle each other. They can spread it easily. That's why the NHS thing is when a child school age is having chickenpox. Once you know that, the best way to do is to keep the child away from other children. Other that is gonna spread like wildfire. So we have to take note of that. And some people as well, like I said, the immune system is not working properly because of A or B, and because of that, they can also get it all. But if you have never had chickenpox, please pray that not in your adult stage, because it's very, very uncomfortable. And like you just said, you rightly said that when you were young, you don't mind being naked, and then they used to put something white, this calamar, whatever, and you just move around, and then but how do you do that when you're an adult? Even your own home, if you're living with your children or whatever, how are you going to do that?
It's terrible.
Yeah. So yeah, I will leave listeners and viewers here, and part 2 will be Thursday, and that will be the tree version. And somebody was telling me, how come that we like to know the overview and everything, and then you say that in English. I apologize, but I think there's nothing I can do, because we're trying our best with the campaign team for people to, to diversify the way we propagate our message. But not everyone will be comfortable, to be honest. Yeah. So when you come on this radio, you need to feel free and make sure every language that you are comfortable with, just speak it, And I'm sure we march on together and we do things together. So just feel free, and then just ask any. Mansa Musa speaks so many languages. I speak 1 or 2, and we've got other like Captain Abolo, Lons, about 4 languages. So everyone can come in, even if we say language that nobody has said it before. I'm sure the campaign team, we group ourselves in such a way that Mansa Musa, they can, and even in Russia, Mansa Musa speaks Russian. Anyway, so just feel free, and then ask the question, or if you want to contribute, feel free to contribute the language that you want, and then you'll be fine. Thank you, Mansa Musa.
Yeah, I have 2 questions though before next week. Apparently, the chicken pox, though very uncomfortable, apparently it's not as dangerous to health as smallpox.
Of course.
A bit of explanation why that is. It's a different disease altogether.
Yeah, smallpox can kill.
Yes.
Yeah, smallpox borders around. Our brother there just got gone and is still hovering around. It's like COVID-19, the things that you do in your body.
Okay.
But,
so that's actually a virus.
chickenpox is outside, and it doesn't attack any major organ.
Okay.
Right. But when you talk about SARS, COVID-19, whatever, they attack the respiratory organs, major organs, something like, think about meningitis. It can attack your spinal cord.
I see. Now I get
You understand? And then the virus can get into the brain. You can be brain dead, and that's it. Even malaria can go into your brain.
Yes.
The virus, malaria, a parasite can look there, and that's it. Or they can damage your liver. That's why through malaria, some people say, they got liver damage. And then as soon the person got jaundice, the person got all this. Yeah. So, jaundice is liver problems, when the liver is damaged, your eye or your urine becomes yellow, and that's what called jaundice. Yeah, it's a liver disease. So anything that can kill the liver cells or damage the liver, you name it, either tumor, cancer, or whatever, you can get jaundice out of it. So jaundice itself, you got so many things causing that, because jaundice is where the liver is not functioning properly, and then that yellow thing, it means coming to your eye or your urine means that your liver is not functioning. It's not able to detoxify every chemical that you put in out there.
The other question is a bit unrelated, but it's a question anyway, and that is, you mentioned the cold sore issue. That cold sore, how do we, the mere mortals, a layperson, differentiate between cold sore and hepatitis? Because I've been told hepatitis also bring about soreness, maybe to the private parts, to your lips or something, your nose also. So how do we differentiate?
Yeah, but hepatitis is different. Hepatitis is a liver disease.
Either the B or C or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
it is.
it's a liver disease. So, and then
and that doesn't
one catches it through the blood. It can be transfusion. It can be by modern times.
Hepatitis, no. What is herpes?
Oh,
Sorry.
herpes is the same. It's the same.
As cold
Yeah,
sore.
yeah, yeah. It's the same virus.
As cold
Yeah,
sore,
yeah. But what's causing that?
Sorry,
When they say cold sore normally around your mouth, around your neck, yeah. And the cold sore, when it's coming, you can see tingling effect. It's like somebody put a needle in your.
And herpes also.
Yeah.
organizes
Herpes.
itself
People can get herpes in their private parts. People can get eye. Yeah, and then the treatment is very.
That's my question.
Yeah,
I'm
so it's the
sorry.
same virus.
It's
The group of.
herpes and
Herpes.
sore.
But when I say hepatitis, I was thinking.
Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
no, herpes.
Completely different.
Yeah, that's right. Herpes. Yeah, herpes is the same group of virus that was causing.
Cold sore.
Yeah, that havoc.
And it can be treated the same way.
No, cold sore, when it's starting, then you can use isaclovir 5 times a day. Zovarax. Yeah, and that Zovarax, at the moment, Zovarax is very expensive, about
Very
£8.
expensive. Well,
About £8.
that's
You don't need
okay.
Zovarax. All what you need
When
is
I started in the 90s, even it was then £3, I said,
because you buy and buy the name as well.
£8 to £10.
Yeah, but you buy and buy the name as well, company's
Jesus
name.
Christ.
Yeah,
But
because
it's very effective, isn't it?
yeah, very effective. But you can get a generic version,
Okay.
isaclovir, and then when you go to supermarkets, it's about £1.99 or £2.
But that's why
It's the same thing.
pharmacies are not selling as the
No,
cheap
because
ones.
the margin in the pharmacy, if you come and say you want generic version, we sell it to you. If you come and then you say that you want Zovarax,
Yes. I don't know nothing about anything except the virus. So,
it's the same as Panadol and paracetamol.
You see.
Panadol, you buy it about $4.99.
you see,
Paracetamol,
that's
how
why I
much?
like these discussions.
You see,
because
so
the name is Zivarox. It's very effective for this cold sore thing.
Yeah.
Because it's also
now
very
when
itchy.
it start tingling,
Yes.
it can stop it
Yes.
and it not spreading.
Exactly.
But as soon as it gets to the blister stage,
Yes.
then you need something to dry up, like
something
yeah,
different, yeah.
Cymex or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
fair enough.
but you have to keep it. If you suffer from cold sore all the time, you have to keep it in your bag. So as soon as you see the tingling coming, just put it on, and then
And that can be attributed to, like you say, stress and.
Oh yes,
pressure
yes.
and
As
so
soon as the body system, let's say you're not getting enough sleep or you're not eating properly, all what's going to happen is that's it, and then they'll come and then activate.
I can take out not enough sleep.
But what you're
And
not
I
supposed to
can
do.
take out not eating properly because I'm overeating anyway. But what I can add that can bring my cold sore is the pressure from Ronaldo.
Yes, MPP government is a cause of, it's a cause of, it can cause cold sore anyway because Ghanaians are depressed, not just stressed out. They are depressed, and then the haircut and everything, so they can get herpes on their hair in any way, on their head. So
Selena have sent this message. It's a longish one, but like they say, whom am I? I got to wear my spectacles, and Serena. The other time I go home before I saw your message. I'm not going to do the same message today. I mean, the same mistake today again. It's a victory of the NDC is coming again with Dr. Joe Uswajimai. This and many more reasons that's why I'm urging the UK Ireland chapter to vote for an experienced person to lead the chapter, not someone who is coming to just try and see. Point 3 of Dr. Joe's 12-point plan says that he is going to bring an innovative way of raising funds to support the chapter. My people, you and I know that without funds, we cannot manage the party. So I'm telling you, sorry, let me read it properly. So I'm telling you people that the right person to vote for is Dr. Joe Uswajimai, so that the UK Ireland chapter will be vibrant. She wrote vibrant, but I am stressing it. Vibrant. Let's vote for someone who has the party at heart, someone who has done it before, someone who is doing it, and someone who is ready to do more. In this case, the right person to lead the UK Ireland chapter is Dr. Joe Uswajimai. Chairmans may come, chairmans may go, chairmans may come. All right, fine. But Dr. Joe Uswajimai has come to stay. A zoo, that's what she's written. You know what I mean? A zoo, or say a za. Thank you, A.E. Selena Ayo.
yeah, thank you, Selena. And this lady has been constant in sending messages, and I'm ever so grateful. Yeah, ever so grateful.
Mr. Abolo, I don't know if he will come tonight, but he also sent, I want to plead with my people of the UK Ireland chapter to let's vote for someone who has the experience, not someone who is coming to try, okay? I don't know, okay. Look at this, they stood together to write this together. I don't know, but 2024 is a communal labor with that, the right chairman for the UK Ireland chapter is Dr. Joe Uswajimai from A.M. Mawenya, yes, Mawenya, that's the way, that's the name. A. Mawenya, so it can be Abolo Michael Mawenya. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm ever grateful. Mansa Musa, you just said something. You remind, what you just said reminds me of something. Last Saturday, I was explaining, I said, this is not a time for us to experiment. We need someone who knows ins and outs of the chapter. And I think my one of my opponents catch it and say, oh yeah, then I need to stay in power. You understand? What I'm trying to say, Mansa Musa, when I heard that, it was a bit funny, because what we are saying is not somebody who has come and then not perform. We're talking about all the challenges, because now we got the person sitting there, isn't he, as a chairman. And then we all know that he's done his work, but his work is not good enough for us to move on. But the people coming, if you put us together, the three of us, I've done the chapter work, because when I was a vice chair, Honorable Kofi Kwachi, I salute him, he gave me the space. He gave me the space to perform, to work, Mansa Musa. Somebody who is lazy will say that, oh, no, he's giving me work, he's giving me work. But Mansa Musa, when somebody's passing, let's say if you're an apprentice and then your master is giving you something to do, it means the person is preparing for the future. You understand? I did this very, very well. Not even very well, fantastically well. So I know inside and outside of the chapter. I know how the chapter is run. That's why, if you know the inside, how monies are, how we keep our money, how we do this, how we do that, with reference to what President Mahama said to Nana Akufo-Addo, he said, look, you don't go and watch football and said, forgot to sign a check. You got systems in place. So it's not true. The same way that I know inside out, so nobody can come and tell me that there's going to be auditing. For 4 years, the auditor, I don't know. Well, let's wait. Somebody told me.
Oh, you want to tell me your chapter audit is still not, available?
Well, we're waiting because the Indians send spacecraft to the moon, right? We're waiting. Probably the auditor is inside. When it comes back.
What are the excuses or reasons? And this is not serious.
Mansa Musa, we're still waiting for the auditor.
Business, is it?
We're still waiting for the auditor. And then people will say, oh, party matters. But Mansa Musa, we are not saying here that how much we have as NDC chapter here. But we are saying the way we do things. Even in a church, Mansa Musa, a church where we all aspiring to go to heaven. They've got board of trustees.
As for this, I don't think you have to worry about it.
You understand?
You are right, because
so,
the thing is, you people are going around singing of probity, accountability, this and that, transparency, and you cannot make your small funds available to your own people. I'm not saying come and tell me. Well, if you tell me, good. But to your own people, your own funds, your own accounts, you cannot account to your own people. That is not good enough. And for NDC standards, some people must just go. Just kick them out. They are not good enough. I'm saying this.
But do you know the side effects of not accountable to people? What's going to happen is, Mansa Musa, they don't know how the money has been used. So when they ask for people to pay more money, they are reluctant to pay. But once they know that, and then we did that when I was a vice chair, Honorable Kofi Kwachi, the treasurer would come every quarter and just say, and I quite remember when we bought T-shirts for, I think, was it 2016 elections? Yeah? When we bought the T-shirts, we came, this how much we bought it, this is the people we gave it to. That, and then the whole house, people were asking questions.
Yes.
You understand? So that's what we want. So anytime you say somebody should contribute, the person knows that we are doing that for. You understand? Yeah. But we get the money, we don't know what happens to the money. Whether somebody's dipping the money into, or anyway, these days, people can use money and put in their pillow as cushion, and make pillow out of it, like what happened in some minister somewhere. So what I'm saying is, Mansa Musa, I know how it's done. I know how there are small things. But somebody will say, oh, you are part of the executive, you're an executive member. But people should give me this credit, Mansa Musa. I will say this. Many people that have been vice chair and other senior, as soon as they finish their job, Mansa Musa, there's no way that these people will come and join the executive as executive with that portfolio. You understand? That's how I feel that I have to always help my party. So if somebody was listening to the things that we were singing outside, I don't think we'll have been where we are, But people, some people, when they're on the hot chair or the big chair, they think whatever you say is nothing to them.
No, but this is rather, it's disgraceful. For NDC, priding yourself of all these vices, these virtues, and yet, no, it's not good. And I'm kind of.
It's coming back, Mansa Musa. I can assure. This is a social contract, Mansa Musa, I'm having with the voters, and then even non-voters of UK and Ireland chapter. This is a social contract. We will work hard to bring all this back because that is the confidence people need in order to contribute, Mansa Musa. Plus, in Kan, they said, you understand?
Yeah.
So, not just asking people to help our party to get where we want. I will personally contribute to whatever that we are doing, Mansa Musa. I'm not going to sit there and ask people to contribute. And then once we contribute, the monies that we contribute, people will know what we are going to use. Mansa Musa, it will be a general decision. Before we even do the contribution, Mansa Musa, we know the target, what we are going to use the money for. And how much is spent on anything that we do, Mansa Musa, people will know. But what probably we cannot do is come here and to tell the people or the members that We've got 150 left. We've got 200 left. That should be at the top of the executive. You understand? Because it's a political party. You understand? Yeah. But doing audit will bring out all these things, the balance and everything, and then we have to be transparent as we go on. So it's very important. This argument has been going on for so many years.
No, for me, honestly speaking, look, your internal squabbles here and there, who is who can do better, I leave it to your own judgment, the judgment of your members. But as a concerned Ghanaian, when people are shouting that, the auditors in Ghana, that the Auditor General, the controller, accountant, all those people, they are finding missing monies, unaccountable, accounted for, a whole lot of irregularities, so to speak. We are all shouting, we are all appalled. And within a party here in London, people cannot comment ourselves. Look, we've got 500 pounds. All of it is not for us. We've borrowed 300, so in the end, when we pay, we'll be there for 200 something. For anybody, for people, you people from that party, it's a disgrace.
Yeah, and then
now,
before you go, I know somebody's calling, but if I can say quickly, what I wouldn't do, Mansa Musa, but no any other standards, what I wouldn't do, Mansa Musa, is for me, whether it's COVID, whether it's whatever chickenpox epidemic, or whatever herpes epidemic, or Nana Kufuor and Troy epidemic, I will never transfer party money through my accounts, Mansa Musa.
Listen, transparency, and you get it.
I will never transfer any.
Before I forget, and I think Lons is here. Before I forget, because you spoke about, when we did the health listing, I want to remind everybody. Look, NDC4, wherever you are, I will write a small piece to everybody, irrespective of your what do we call it? Your support, where your support base is, who you want to be the chairman, who you want to be the vice, and the rest of it. I will beg everyone, if Dr. Joe Uswajima, look, I know somebody who is also very good with money management. I know somebody who is good in business, all along in within. If Dr. Joe Uswajima comes here to explain what his expert in, his expert in, or his professional background.
Expertise, advice.
Expertise, that's the way, thank you. You see, if he's trying to explain to us these things concerning our well-being, health matters, health issues, believe me, at my age, fortunately or unfortunately, I've gone through all the life stage illnesses. I know all these things, what hits you here, what this, that. Some I put it, I brought it to my own self in some morning, but if you would come and just listen to that one alone, it will help you. Me, I will talk you. Like we say in the Atif talk you. If you are going to do the hard-nosed politics, I don't belong to his side, so the more you can, you turn off the radio. I know a lot of people, some of you, most of you, want to speak to yourself and listen and laugh. And that is a very poor way of doing politics. That's a poor attitude. Anyway, Mr. Alonzi.
Hello, Mansa Musa.
Be welcome once again.
That's it, Mansa Musa. In fact, you've taken the wind out of my mouth. I don't know what else to say. How I wish that I had even gone off. But the point that I want to stress on is that we are going to an election where this chapter will decide its fate.
NFM Radio.
An election where, we are going to rebuild, or which will lead to the rebuilding of this chapter or the demise of it. Some of us have been around for a while, to sit down with doctor and decide on what we believe will work for this chapter was also more or less someone will tell you another form of a task, which collectively as a group we've undertaken succinctly. But then I wouldn't speak much, or I wouldn't say much, other than I'm urging my colleagues and able voters is that let's look at what this gentleman has done for this chapter. Since when I can talk of over decades back, he has been, I wouldn't use the word financier, but a contributor to the fortunes of the party. He has served the party very well. He has demonstrated and exhibited political maturity in every sense that you can talk of, and has also established himself as a man who loves this party. He's got a history. His uncle has been a regional minister during, Liman's regime. His brother Brenya was an MP for the Droboso constituency from 92 to 96. As I speak to you, they just ended parliamentary elections. One of his brothers, I think he's also Dr. Brenya, who is a lecturer from Ken UST, also contested and lost to a lady from the Afram Plains area. So we are talking about a true party person, someone whose love for the party remains unrevoked and nothing will change it. Mansa Musa, what convinces me so much talking about Dr. Joe Yao Owusu Ajman Prempeh, it's not just about his person, but delving into his quest and love to see the right things being done, wherever he finds himself. This is a man. Mansa, you wouldn't believe this. I have had people questioning me and saying or asking that, Lons, so are you going to, let's assume that you pick a client or you come across £1,000. Are you going to walk into the council or call the police and say that someone has left money or you've met money along the way? And I've always said yes. Mansa Musa, it's unfortunate I have to say this on air. My date of birth is 23rd November. I bear the same date of birth as Dr. Joe Yao Owusu Ajman Prempeh. And let me put this in a very funny way. Though I am an Ewe, but I grew up as an Akan.
You say your date of birth is for 23rd November?
Yes, same as Dr. Joe Yao Owusu Ajman Prempeh.
That's pretty as myself.
Obvious. I am grateful for your attempts to distract me from going forward. But let me drag myself back into the conversation.
Go ahead.
And do you know the interesting thing? As I said to you, I'm an Ewe. Yeah, I grew up in the palace of the Asampehine in Edum Kumasi. I attended Central International, went to Ishiasu International, went to Kumasi High School, and then lately ended up at Dramna Kenton. I have been, my grandparents, or let me say my ancestors, have been settlers throughout from Bonfa in the Ashanti region, through Asante Achimago, then through up to, Afram Plains, right? I know Mansa Musa very well. I know the Bekwai areas. So that's aside. There was a time when we had, as friends, we had gathered up and we were having a laugh, and they said, Agboliti. Charlie, what's my Santimai Power? Charlie, pick one of our Ashanti names so that we name, the best friend. And I said, the name that I love to be called is Prempeh. And this boy said, Master, now I'm so wrong. I been manage body more want me and can be a this thing that was a barbepe. So my friends used to call me Kopna Mensa. So Mansa Musa, all that I'm trying to arrive at is that this is a man who believes in nothing but the right. He believes in why and how the right things must be done. It is not about himself anymore. I wouldn't be part of his group. He's someone who he has gone beyond himself and said that, you know what, Lawrence, listen, even yesterday, we've almost on every occasion when we have to talk about politics and the NDC in Ghana, we disagree. And I can assure members that if we are entrusting, or we should entrust the fortunes of this chapter in the hands of Dr. Yao, Joe Uswajman Prempe, Mansa Musa, I can tell you that we are in good hands. This is a man who has got the appeal. This is a man whose quest to make sure that the right things are done remains unblemished. It's almost like, you know what, if I cannot be part of good administrative processes, then I cannot be part of anything at all. So I am urging membership. I am saying that when you look at how we have sold out our programs, Mansa Musa, we are saying that we are going to unify this chapter. We are saying that we are going to make things easier for communicators like myself, my brothers, Awal, Owusu Echao, Freddie, Mary Gardner, Becky, Gifty, whosoever elects himself to speak on behalf of the party, we are going to do this. And Mansa Musa, we shouldn't be fooled. We should be looking at Ropal coming up at our next elections, especially when, now that we don't even know what the EC has got under its sleeves. We shouldn't be fooled that someone is going to slap, or pass someone at the back and say that, oh, you are doing a good job. We should be determined to making sure that whatsoever that is on the table, we have men and women who are willing and capable and will demonstrate the zeal and confidence attacking that particular issue. And this is what I am selling out to members, that Dr. Joseph Owusu Yao Ajiman Prempe is more than willing to take whatever that is put on the table as a challenge in making sure that the NDC, as he loves it, will fight for it. Mansa Musa, my main can't me they put us a chat tour. You say your friend is saying, you wouldn't saying, I say, do for cheer away. I say, or yet, for Emma, so you do for cheer. And she said, NDC, I pesa. That's a Dr. Bekesia, Obayama do for chair. The minimi say, Menu Penino, baby, or Maya, baby, a year drew as a group, no, ye here will be a Obekanya boom. Ye here will be a Sabe, Obedjune Akon kind, a cast a party, no, a here saying, Nipa by any issue. Once I'm Samiti, hey, Telford, my be a chest me a branch member. So, yes, say me a branch member because certain key individuals took those positions or that decision. Say, yeah, my main part of it. Name Mumuni Mansam said, the answer make us about George my. My vote may sway or may not sway his leadership, which obviously obey we know comfortably. Name Mumuna and this interest, no, a superior to the meme Lance Evans Copla Agbolite, the made general. And ne party ne no enquabra party ne no so nti I was some submitted to the party and no ne ade papa na demonstrate say enye de ono pew Mansa Musa, let's be honest here. Show yes say and I say Dr. Dia Tudja or so kwabna see ye to abama mia at this year no metun kan ama modi machi say ye party officer me this metu bottom de misika ejuma miama ye party man appointment dawo onye kene de Japan onya contract dawo esuma papa we asum party since 2008 Mansa Musa me patro could be set Anderson between these two gentlemen mean share near what donate more funds to this party me can't query your pronounce a comment in case nansen e comment nkense krampo no Mansa Musa nansen awo ye gigito a na say ye course e correzi fans ama ye nuanom ye friend Simon Aworigo, who happens to be our current and perhaps our former communication officer. Any maybe school kwa bisiu no. Ye bubo dinin no meti said Dr. Joe Ajman tuya £200. Unfortunately, no Chairman Baba ma same as Chairman Kosia Kwa man who Chairman Conrad, who happens to be the host, was there anyway, maintain a contribution. Set annos and sutia £200. And na since 2008, ye got 10 elections. 10 elections are, and this year we need over 51,000 votes. No, Papa we bottom sika kahun. Mansa Musa, na denti what ye be the pabunia ya na de nkwa. Papa no doku no. According to do and ye me patrol from 2008 to 2016. This man never lobbied for any appointment. Ye ni ha. Ye nuya penny ye friend is saying. Ye current minority leader. Ye friend no. Touch all naka man at over the one with you. Dr. Okay, touch all saying. Mene.
Dr. Atuforsen.
Dr. Atuforsen. Dr. Atuforsen. Or ye be or nyami mene touch all saying mene who come Abuja. Manima check there ejekum money at a point like a local deputy minister, a local government minister. My candidate never opted and lobbied for anything, but he has continuously and momentarily contributed to the fortunes of the party. It's a mistake here for say yes, say yeah, what blocky 18 in the year. Mansa Musa, agenda is very simple. We are going to block the 8. And the party nobody block 8 now. We need someone who is selfless. We need someone whose integrity is unblemished. We need someone who is honest. We need someone who is willing to lead and say, guys, let's go out there and do the battle. Obi a sebe, wadene kan konin ne nim die, o shepa pe suma wasum chapter we are. Me straight here for some moment to pa. Na say elected Dr. Joe Owusu-Ajimaya. Mansa Musa, I can assure you, say the level of activism chapter we are going to rebrand and rebuild this chapter. Reflect diaspora, and as a diaspora ninano. Yen an amount for Befray besides and Namuye and saying because what it means in say under doctor's leadership, we are going to identify people who will work for this chapter in conjunction with party itself and make it like nothing has happened before. Thank you
very much indeed. Thank you. Abolo. Mr. Dazi, you have to hang on till Abolo is done. Abolo, because Abolo came before you.
Captain.
Hello, Abolo.
Mansa Musa,
yes.
my cousin, my cousin.
Me, my dad's in Kasaon. Okay.
Because he's a good captain.
Hello, Mr. Dazi.
Mansa Musa.
You, welcome.
Fine, thank you. May God bless you. But the thing is, we are going to speak our local dialect because you know different. We are there. Yes, we are going to Kasanibi. But Mansa Musa, the mechanism. Meti Onjuma any Nepa Aoyama Mepa UK and Aruna chapter Mepa said Dr. Joe Ajman or Honomo to say why in this one will be purpose to support UK and Aruna chapter no. They were the mechanism go point on Ongusu and Kano. And you've been yourself a panel say Obinya that just a Mabetana Mefan say TV so and I say radio so say or Abeka party on Zampa and yet any feel but or drink in Nepa out say our party was it Darby. I said to I'm a supportive partner. Mansa Musa, meaning say no one what to say I started him the registration of Ghana, meaning so oh yeah, where?
Yeah, kika.
Yo, this is the reason why saying support to say Dr. Joe Ajimai. Why then? Want me winning UK and Aruna chapter no. What do you say? Or bad time and no function? A chinko will be also behind and enumbi. So be able to say you limited registration can say. Often will be say, oh, Apollo limited registration. I was saying, oh, maybe no afraid at all. But the limited registration I was saying, ni point when you pay up some don't call or at all. This has kind of a support. Na for ni pani biko. Me say ene Mansa Musa ene kudu imagine amount for me to reach you feel be me because we see them ko ni nyina no but make say ni nyina ja me fan say me boss so Dr. George Manso e so to be say ejuma na oye no na you say obaye wo UK na chapter nkwa o na go na you say obaye UK na chapter and come flame beside them but you so akanya me say atu jiwe na fa ka na pa man for kodom correct some voter ID card. Because why not alternate parties of so party in kind call my party into me up a public 2024 no party say Mr. Long Sky say we are going to block that aid that they are talking about. So if blocking that 8 in there, I didn't able to say to me and say to me opia only swadu papa at the UK and Aruna chapter. Our catch on seminar say a man sona se ban se mutu to about the manner or so on politica me boom sikem da ambassador in tika bo biskem or so no abajan am I able to raise a fan e me to the support party no and ke bi nie aka this come with limited restriction ni exercise nkete me say no na ko mo horom to me do masa bo ma twen abagana te Ghana for mo so mo nje ka campaign support party no wa sa na yenya hwehwe no. Because the diaspora winning as a bit to my year fit, not a papa, not gonna put you to say, and I say you can out chapter 41. Must say you can out chapter no. She say bit more top by Dr. George Mine. Feeling saying be on walker. Whichever person a long second or say he is there to support the party anytime, any day. Say, but says the man is when we need also on the party, no don't know support. But maybe so other candidates will be to my Bible, David to because I think we be that check of where you can write chapter for Nana. Deputy. But in nature, day in day at the best and the best Dr. Joe Ajimani, a thing you will TV one as a radio so. Because of say, opposite support the party, no. Opeso oyini oyi ode opepabi ode support party into me jana na so ndi but other candidates say no mo so mo ye that support party no UK na chapter ora na obi to make dey say no say me say man say party no election po a me nkasa police adopt the police stations no obi to adopt say dey oh that support party no. This is the kind of leader that we want. And the Mansa Musa anajumi mikasa nwa because when Dr. George ma adarumanti enye community registration bi na ebe na si emre na otumi sampa enam ne ho don tie say de onya koto ma ono that onya kase obeden obama wo etumi fa ne koto kaka na o man invent te no be won say man yon support on kasa me ka de but me ka na surprise no e me say de oye ma me kaka na o kasa me nsa man fon fen kono ye me ni so. Because we sorry 4 o'clock. Mansa Musa share could you imagine 4 o'clock 3 o'clock near sorry you near for man for say mbesi yanko Nyanko limited registration just to support the party to win power. It's about to be supported with the finances. Don't support the same account for transport and co. They are going to be able to drink in so the mom there. They make us a Yankopon ancient Dr. George Mine. No one can say, in this one, do be a share or you can chapter piano. You have a grassroots or more no person to abano. You have some motion on top of Dr. George Mine. That's Ovinia and couldn't be there by NDC any UK chapter or more there. Na me yo no dia o si oba be wini party no e da ma you can chapter no o wini mfa because anything say o say David me ka say former general secretary Kasembi o si e be any dey be say o be errand boy e o wini party mu dan say obedient secretary e o me person opposition party. And the FNF say better position no. And the employee the name ma for me to support yen. Omo mo pepa. Obi o meju music asem ho. Obi o me fa ne say e ban say oya akwala openi obu. Say oye program now to sa the Dr. Joe Ajimani. Omo put it say me no say me see me yo twe me no ma. Obi be o inviting bia for that program no be den. Or because just to support the party. And so we leader we are not say me a place on there. Mama say need and say Sebane say all member the post one year or no leadership no be or be mo obaso ba be somo o amase bra na be somo we need leadership the best Mansa Musa say Ghana for Ghana for say Ghana see the Dr. George Mansa Nyamisha no nka no and grassroots phenomenon comes in Yankopon on Cano. About time, Penfonia Yankopon on Cano. On winning, that's all winning in your celebrity. Mazam.
Are you? Yes, yeah, that's yes, yeah, that's right. I'm right here. That's an Amutini Canada before I go to, I think, Mami Sewa and Abolo. Good evening, Mansa Musa. I want everyone to vote Dr. Joe Swajima for great change in the UK Ireland chapter. Dr. Joe said in one of his points that he will help the new executive acquire the e-card. I want all the delegates to vote for Dr. Joe because of his plans for the new executive. For this point to come to light, I urge everyone to vote for Dr. Joe Swajima. Thank you from Rita. Okay. Aboro.
Mansa Musa.
Right. Yanko.
Emuda hodia.
As they say, Charlie what?
Me de inshira na ema Dr. Joe Swajima.
Yes.
Na madana. Mansa Musa otiminka.
Oh, Ethiopia. Abolo.
Mansa Musa.
Yeah, what won't be count?
Mete unka na phone mu ya tisa na nado suban no.
Ah, okay. Now I'm there. Unia I friends I agia opeso urem enti na phone start.
Me dia 2-3 minutes penti.
Okay.
Obebem. Mansa Musa. Sise senia menua atukwa me na kan no. Menua agi asudi be ba ka ho no. Ye di asida ene kabia ene di ma Dr. Joe Swajima. Limited registration, Dr. C. Most of the constituencies no so masi. And our taxi here callers no. Ama ye 3 constituencies. Say ye ndi wejuma. The ono so betimi aya aboa ye bia ye so betimi di atwi 18 and above for no. Edi ama omanya voters ID card. No mo etimi ato aba no. Eno na why then or taxi here. Eno na atu kwa me na gade ye di asida na ema no. Say ye beye ama ni kunimi a opese odi no. On train say ye to abama no UK Arena chapter. Esa ni say onim say UK Arena chapter for engu nenim asinti. Wa sha ase ebo adwuma no. Me make say election. Eye processes na obeye ansa na wo wini aba no ti ye da na se. Yesu yengu nenim ase. 3 constituencies we ye be wie no. Amanfo yetimi boa ye momu tuo mu di nya card so. Ye be bu ho akuta ma no dog ye da ase. Me di be si no UK Arena chapter. Me see a communal labor about na ye beto no. Ye beto about my experience. No bet me aye adwuma no. Mansa Musa UK Arena chapter enugwase we. Enfata omo ana ye ni se we ensibio. Intermediate misre UK Arena chapter say hwebe emenu so beto aba. Mansa Musa Dr. Joe Swajima see NFM Radio. Say no baba dre no. Ye be use media we Mansa Musa. Eye fundraising no ye sika. Ene di ma media. Ansana media etimi abo party mudoro na ayakono no bi eti abedwani. Papa isi ni wa sha ase no. O wini election enjai NFM Radio ensi ho. Obem make sure say airtime no beto. E di abo party ni deru. We mu eni nkaye nti na mesre delegate say emrenu so mu nkai no mu nto abama no. Mansa Musa me dasi.
Abolo, thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Yanko, your friend say number 3 so. 0714 1 year.
I'm Bruni Nekase.
Oh, okay. Mayama Amachi neutral or no and Canadian we are now. Intigina Sumabe. Amachi Akwawa.
Yamu. Chairman, Bako Boko there.
Bibiaye.
Nancy flu bintino intime maso.
Na say sir, omo COVID no asay spread bi mu.
Flu awa bi makuma ni. Intime ba. Yeah. Na ene na ma misi abakra o program na ene dan Dr. Joe Ajubai program na say.
Yeah. Ene on Tuesday the Thursday bi o ha for campaign time. No say omo e beto aba for e be yi omo mpanifo. Until Tuesday and Thursdays, you know. Me wa ha I should start from 7. Me ye media na I go 8 na odwa be fa e be so mu akopim 10. It Tuesdays,
okay,
you know. Political broadcast. And shall general.
Yeah. And you mean say me chat Dr. Joe Ajimai and Kiredwed. Ni atiefo a me nini mo le fi bi de bati me chi obi a yefo etie nyina na ochina ye be ba so na ya be fire.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
You know, me nja mo na mo nkoso why?
It does be brave.
I'm a channel na match so.
That's one. Okay, bye.
Right. Madam, they say no. What do you need here?
They say Penny Jerry and I in share. They say, oh, my candy.
Yeah, Bremen should be answer. You should still have you.
But the phone boo say a giant show sabe. A dog said I just a crab frame.
Ever fry it's a sign, it's the other medical crab frame. And that as usual, I'm here for Namitia also not in Fiakesian command the team Joe members. And Dr. Joe also Ajima. If I saw Omaka say you Nami and so this program now to say all that I can say is Mr. Matthew for young vote to my Dr. Joe also Ajima. What the program or the health talk. What is that that's so cool, yeah, okay. Back in the days, if you know, you say yeah, one night say okra raho. It's a what would you see and I don't know, yeah. Meaning, say, now, yeah, what they are trying to make when they son and I say, it's all rap for it. No, just to Cosia man, I do one no. Oh, they after one woman, not knowing express the crime my way in number. The doctor, thank you so much. I was educate.
Yeah, I don't make us say, yeah, the partisanship not to China. Oh, health matters. Sabi Kromha, Ubia Kuta. Ebi kuta mu degree kakra ebi nim kuta mu professional bi kakra nti obia nim de no se obana se kaso obepembre na odi akyerɛkyerɛ mu a me feel say we na se ka yi politics no kra film na ka obia betie mu nkrofo na ka mo asalai no mo betie oh doc me kra me se me to ma na mo will help speech in India yeso fe kwa I mean so na make
now no say COVID time no so and I know obia betie tie to abano de oh no bo a okay, I'm to tell you no mutio. Obo won yin ni ba wote ho. So, and you say
I hope so because health issues.
Yeah, it's like a very educative video. Because even now, no one say bibia amame kope kosie bi nye for nebeko. But no know you say even when you sleep you rest the crown at the nebeko.
Yes.
And there's another one that I noticed say what is say we are taking for say e bi be san yo. We believe say yeah wa enye ubium. Meaning that you are once you we prone to be sign and thank you so much for such a educative program. Nyam show it for what else I can be or my education we educate here, which means that what the knowledge now or better impact it into the health sector. It's a Mr. Dr. Joe Uswajiman. And even in the policy, all say obey acquire a place for us, which I know so obey because here maybe I why there this doctor beating and all acquire that nonsense and I generate income because when you go on say be there I hope say the whole won't be there for only NDC it be a big force and you work on when obi pay program there you beat me for high which is and it will come into the into the coffers of NDC.
Yes.
It is why can't we vote for him? It's somewhat cheerful. UK and Ireland for Nameya Adma on the 7th of October. It's Remo Bebre. Whom ye and I fire vote in Farmer Dr. Joe Uswadiman. When in him general again power, woman NDC, because my name says so you vote what the impact when you only hear yeah, the quack support to Ghana so. Which is we know very well say JMO, but definitely JM is coming. It's a Mr. Remo. I said my son is going to make my crafra into Mr. Remo Yamayadma on the 7th of October. When I fire vote to Dr. Joe Sagna. That's Dr. Time will continue to make who know for good do that with him.
Good call. Good call. Very good call indeed. 8 minutes gone past 10, so 2 minutes. Doc, run up.
Yo, Mansa Musa.
NFM Radio.
Is it kakra the free buffer battery? Until the one say me da tiefwa ani your mom be hwe no. Me do biase na radio we Mansa Musa ye nuanu mo CPP for PPP MPP for mutie pa. No wonder say numbers ni nam 5,000 6,000 ya de no. Na amanfo tie no se de wo kan ye no ewi asendia na ya ne se Mansa Musa obi wonim die bi na wo so wo ka na wa kyerɛkyerɛ mu na wo so de bi atokotodwe mu no se de obi tibi ka se politics nti no ho Mansa Musa kura ya ade e fe kura na ye nka se Mansa Musa ya ade Mansa Musa so de ase na emo Mansa Musa ya ade ne se nya de ne wo se ye ka e kyerɛ no enipa bia no se wo encourage na adekọ bi a woye na isa akora start se wo nante sa akora ne start se wo nante a na oya osori se wo nante no ate ahwe na wo encourage no well done for no person wo ye more nyesa it will be a here encouragement into the make and say abane de ye de e beto so ye de a ye nuafo wo NDC mu anua no ye ntwamu da aho ba moma ye mre ye ho ase na sa ntokwa ne ye mpanifo ye di o matem ne ade no ye den a eba de edin a ebeka se ye nkọ ni nko busa abrewa na abrewa no ne hwan oni panimu a obet maka yo se de wo ye na wani abro ho no me hu bi da na say na o ya ebe I quite remember say time na me doctorate na Mansa Musa ayibi ede ma ye say ye enquire research bi na many a brim who Mansa Musa be called British the biggest library ever no aye the British Library so and a working squad because nam what me hwehwe sa me ho na I decided to call my younger brother Dr. Brenya so and I'm friend I'm say dog by we me knows oh there be for way boss I na code we dey obo so benya book Mansa Musa go boy so enti kire say obetima bro ho you should be 10 years but just a small call no ade a wo 10 years ahwe no obetimi 30 seconds ayeda ahwe enti the mechanic say ye nyina en kamom party ni ye yi a Mansa Musa eyema ye nyina ne sese kura Mansa Musa make maka say amanfo ani agi party no nam kane ne kwa na amanfo bi enyini say NDC you can allow chapter crowd baby o ye ko shia ya ho de ne shia ba say no ye ba radio so ye ko TV so ye bo party ni ye party Ghana ni ha nyina dawuro no Mansa Musa me ka amanfo muti e ba nwanwa Japan Mexico US kese obi kwa de na no Thursday was your friend na wako ni break obeti ni apon and our friend when are you coming na see apon na na me send Facebook or any command wa no say wo hu tie so ti Mansa Musa de ye nyina no ye de boy chapter de party ni Ghana so that say edimo ye nsom na we are marching on ekosi se ye nyina ba bia nkase ye ya home ekosi se ye de papa John Mama beba na NDC about power with the majority needed niema no a bofo no aye ne basa no ya bane abetretre no ama obi a ho ato no if you say me you sure say the Ghana kuduru no they say no e dey wanya no wo do ma ho na wotwe anya obinya wanko obi a obi say fa bibi bre no anase say because e modern obi afro was e modern nti Mansa Musa me da obi ase penefo amutie me me modin benifo mebre a ma send me message o mutie me mo bi adin Ghana ne ha nyina ma se mo se ready no ko akiri e ko na me ka che no benifo so tie o enti no mo ene adwuma ene way no management so that's it and one come here again enti no me do bia se nyame bo a Thursday ye be ba ne abeetwi be hye no na be bia o wa ne da tuja enti obia na yi
Make a share, I'm a sewa, I'm a FM.